I'm so happy with my new garden studio, and it means now that I can do paint finishing techniques. I can do all of the things that I was never allowed to do at the kitchen bench. So it is a pleasure to come to you from here. And I thought that because we've been doing a series on painting, we should actually just go back a bit further, and I want to share all of the knowledge that I have in regard to colour. Now, I wrote this book years and years and years ago, and it has been the most valuable teaching reference that I have ever done, and I'm pleased I took the time. In here I've got everything that you could ever possibly need to know and more on colour for interior design, for floral design, for landscaping, anywhere where you need colour. I have got you covered. I am going to get one of my wee girls who is very clever at the computer. I'm going to get her to scan all of this information in so that you can have access to it as your reference. Right, get rid of that. Let's talk about colour, and let's talk about the colour wheel. There are three primary colours or hues. A hue is a pure colour, and it is made lighter or darker or greyer by the addition of black or white, but we'll get to that in a moment. That's when we talk about shades, tones and tints. But anyway, let us begin. Red at the top, we have blue on one side of the triangle and yellow on the other side. Now I'm using the warm colours. We'll talk about cool colours another day. Now when you mix those two colours together, you're going to get purple. When you mix those two colours together, you're going to get orange. And when you mix those two colours, you are going to get green. Now from there, just with the addition of two paints, black and white, the world is your oyster, and that's where your shades, tones and tints come in. Right, so that's with painting, works exactly the same. Let me now show you how it works in regard to flowers. Let us have a look at it, because it's a little bit different when you're working with colours, because you've got to look at weight, visual weights, visual size of the flowers. Right, I've selected some red here, so I'll put my red at the top. I've got a yellow, which I'm going to put over this side, and it's always equal distance between these placements. From there, we are then going to go to the blue, as I said, equal distance between them. So they are the primary main hues. Now let's have a look. In fact, before we go any further, I think I'll just stay here and we'll talk about the placements of the flowers. Now usually what happens, and it's like all I've talked about with the fundamentals of flowers, you start off with your smallest, and it should be your lightest, and it comes to your next texture, right through to your heaviest, bulkiest flower there. So the bigger the flower, the heavier the flower of value and colour, that comes in towards the middle. And so from there your eye hits that, and what's happening now is that is all flowing out till it stops at this little flower here. Right, from there, to get your intermediate colours, it is a matter, I've got these all sorted out for you. So there's your purple, and it's done it exactly the same way. I've got the smaller purple at the top here, and then as where your eye's going to hit it, and then it's going to float in to these colours here. Now I know that that is darker than that, but that is a smaller form than that form there. And also the bigger orchid I've put into as far down to where the base of the arrangement's going to be, because that's got all sorts of other colours, and it's quite a big form. So that is going to sit into there. And then I've got my oranges. Now, this is how I've selected and put these together, and I'll just get rid of, oh, artificial, thank goodness for that. Right, this is how this is working. I've got this spiky form here because that's less in tonal colour and value. Then I'm going into the tulip here. Now that's also got little bits of yellow on it, so that there is lighter again than what is heavier than what that is, and it's also, you can see that it's a bigger, fatter form than what that is. Then I'm coming in here with this gerbera. No, it's not a gerbera, I'm not quite sure, I think that's a dahlia. And then right into the centre here, I've put the calla lily, because it's a big, fat, strong orange colour. Now that is going to go into there like that. And then the next that I want to look at is, oh, hold on, I forgot the greens. Oh, so bringing those two together, you get the green. Now let me tell you about green. Green is one of the most important colours that you will ever come across. That is your balancing and harmonising colour, and green will go with absolutely everything and just brings and connects everything together. So I've used the Bells of Ireland here because that's a long form. Then I've come into this form here and it's got a little bit of white on it. So that comes into there and that sort of like is diffusing that. And then right down at the base, because it's the biggest form, I've put the green and that is going to go into there. Hold on, I know what I'll do so that you can see it. I'm just going to put that under there so that we're all on the same page. Right, get these all neat and tidy. So that there is exactly the same as the colour wheel for when you're looking at the colour wheel when you're selecting colours and flowers. But always remember that your lightest form and texture comes in to the biggest form in the centre. Now from here, let me just get rid of these. I want to talk to you about black and white. I've got some black grass here and I've got a white hydrangea. When it comes to black and white, they are equal on the colour wheel. In fact, they're not colours, but without those, you've got no colours at all. Now, they visually are the same weight. When you mix that and that together, you are going to get your grey colour. Now, from here, you can do whatever you want. So, for instance, just with by adding white, which is the tint, you're going to have your tinted colours here, which are going to go from your lights into your darks, into your heavier forms. That's how pinks work. Let me show you how it works with if we get the purple and we add black to it, which is going to give you your tone. You've got your dark here and then you've got your bigger form here. Even though that is heavier than what this is in colour, because it's a smaller form, I can use those there and then make sure you've got your big base at this end here. Now, as I said, there's warm colours and there's cool colours, but we will leave those for another day. I will try and get that colour manual and all the information that I have up into the library at Astar's place very, very soon so that all of that information is there. Now, from now on, when we do any kind of flowers, any kind of paintings, that's what we're going to do. If you ever get stuck, I want you to stick with what we call monochromatic harmonies or colorways, and that is shades, tones and tints, all using the same colorway, so whether it be reds or whatever. And if in doubt, keep to black and white if you're doing any kind of designing, but we'll talk about that too. I hope I have been of assistance. Thanks for watching, and I will see you another day.